Vejo sim, Kleber. Ih, chegou o meu turno de trabalho. Um clipe. Você pode mudar a sensibilidade da interferência no menu de opção. Caramba, velho, tô como? Tenso, tá ligado? Tá complicando. Dia 912, O Levante. Um ano e meio depois da noite da libertação. Tô ouvindo.
Alex, this is Alan James. The revolution starts tonight, Alex, and we need your help. Throughout this broadcast, we're going to ask you to do things that will directly help with this mass protest. I'll be talking to you regularly tonight, and I'll also be hacking in when I can. Please help get our message out. We're on the verge, Alex. You've always been fair and balanced in your approach to us. With your help, we can tip the balance in our favor. If you play our tape at the second break, that's when we think it will have the most impact. It's on your right.
At 10 p.m. by a chance to see the very last episode.
Ah, droga, tá ligado?
How's he doing?
How should I know?
What, you haven't heard from him?
He's a wanted criminal, Colin.
So's my nan, but she never misses her birthday.
Your grandmother.
Caramba, tá ligado? Será que eu devo? Será que eu não devo?
Resisting arrest, double homicide on the same bloke. She's right, laugh.
I hope he's alright though. No, he's got this far and your brother was
Ah,
fine.
velho, será que eu
Going in
taco
10
tudo?
seconds, everybody.
Cara, eu quero o bem da minha família, tá ligado?
Probably. Not probably. Definitely. Going in 5, 4, 3. Good evening. This is the National Nightly News broadcasting across the territories. My name is Megan Wolf. Our top stories tonight. Future legend. It's been 40 days since Disrupt conducted multiple attacks across the territories. During the coordinated action, subsequently dubbed the Night of Fire, emergency services were kept busy at the agricultural centres, while a series of covert attacks were carried out freeing political prisoners, including former newsman Jeremy Donaldson. Nothing has been heard from the missing journalist since the violent Disrupt attack on his convoy 6 weeks ago. Donaldson was on his way back to Betterment after his notorious court appearance. All of us here at Channel 1 hope that wherever he is now, he's safe. Food, glorious food. With the last of the menu centres opening in territories 5, 8 and 14 today, Advance confirmed that the programme is now in full operation, providing free food for every citizen of the new future. What started as rationing during the 20-week war has blossomed into a social contract that is the envy of the unawakened world. Jack Tractor Pants, spokesman for the menu centres, said today that while they can guarantee the contents of every box is nutritious, the actual
Ei, gente, eu
quality
boto
of
no
the meals
voto,
you
tá
cook
ligado?
depends on whether you have a touch of Chef Jordan Rankley or the culinary skills
Cara,
of a
eu acho que
professional footballer.
eu vou deixar por aqui,
If I
tá
were a
ligado?
rich man, problems in territories 11, 17 and 22 today as striking bosses attempted to undermine their new economies. With seemingly no awareness of irony, the former CEOs and MDs have come together to form the Wealth Creators Union, with demands including a return to 150% bonuses, private jets and mandatory grovelling zones. In an annoying show of petulance, the former elites drove their luxury vehicles at 10 miles per hour up and down the motorways of their respective territories. The coordinated protest of elites inconvenienced several 100,000 of their employees. Any dream will do. Oddball Disrupt spokesman Alan James today set out Disrupt's vision for what he calls a return to free society. However, the problematic provocateur avoided answering any questions on the movement's increasingly sinister tactics. Leading commentator and regular guest on the National Nightly News, Katie Brightman, has been notably outspoken against both Disrupt and Mr. James himself. Her family reported today that she's not been seen since last Tuesday. Three of our favourite stories come to an end this evening. First, water conundrum. When rains flooded the former Moobs shaft, now amusement park, many thought the deaths of hundreds of visitors would have finally brought an end to the cursed project. But Sophia Remington remained undaunted, as has been typical of her time at the top. Rebranding as Sophia's Moist Splash Palace, the world's wettest water park has been an overwhelming success and was this year's most popular family fun day. Shares in Remington's Fist have soared, bringing a happy and prosperous end to this story for the daring CEO and her unpredictable moves. Wrong, but not forgotten. The scientific community today remembers the loss of the many celebrated who lost their lives in a rash escape from Dante's taint 1 year ago. The costly voyage, led by David Wong, was recklessly hasty, and while a handful of survivors made it home, the casualties were considerable. Among the dead were noted prize-winning marine biologist Ingrid Svorsborg and a bunch of other nerds. They will be missed. Johnstown, seen here extolling the virtues of the nutmeg to his congregation of fanatics. Former footballer Johnny Hamsleeves has shocked the world by rebranding himself as the Right Reverend Holy John Love. The controversial preacher insists his followers make an annual pilgrimage to his bank from their commune in the grounds of his mansion, where daily services mainly involve football chants and ball worship. All that, plus we'll be taking a trip to Dangley Parks for the notice board, as well as getting a sneak peek at the hottest ticket in town. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Cara, dá vontade de meter o louco, tá ligado?
But first, 500 days after the loss of a fine leader and a great man, the start of tonight's programme is dedicated to remembering and celebrating the life of Peter Clement. Patrick Bannon is live from Parliament Park, where Julia Salisbury will be breaking ground on what will soon be a memorial garden in Peter's honour. Patrick.
Listening to that old bitch lying through her teeth about missing that poor bastard.
Patrick.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
We're live.
Because I'm not being funny. Things were better with Peter, weren't they?
Patrick.
They were, and I don't mind saying it. They were, because he held her back. But now there's no stopping her.
Hello, Patrick, we're live.
Of course, can't say that, can I, Francis? No, not with public ownership. No, with public ownership, you can't say anything these days. You're off the rocker. I heard from an aide that... Hello, Megan, you join me here live from the what? Hello, Megan, you join me here live from the what?
Lost some signal there for a moment. Well, we will be going live to that groundbreaking ceremony just as soon as we can get Patrick back. Meanwhile, let me just say, I think the Memorial Garden is going to be gorgeous. I've had a sneak peek at the designs, and Alana Marsh has done
Oh,
a
God,
fabulous
tá
job.
ligado?
Oh, okay, all right. It seems like we have got the signal back. We can now go live to Patrick Bannon in Parliament Park. Patrick.
Thank you, Megan. I'm
Ué, mudou pra
Bannon,
Patrick?
and we are indeed live here. Apologies for the technical difficulties there, but any moment now, Julia Salisbury will step out on stage behind me.
Alex, Bozeman here. The boys in editing have just informed me that the eulogy footage isn't fully cut together yet. You're going to have to do it on the fly. For goodness sake, make sure you make it look good.
Slowly gathering since this afternoon.
This is Alan. You can undermine them here and help us win hearts and minds. Make him look bad, Alex. Really bad.
And it seems like the ceremony is getting underway. Here is Prime Minister Julia Salisbury, the picture of elegance.
Caraca, velho, tô dividido e agora?
Good evening, fellow teammates and friends. 500 days ago, all of our lives changed irrevocably. Still reeling from the triumphs and tribulations of Liberation Night, another great loss befell the people of these newly united territories. The loss of a leader, a statesman, a dear
Ixi,
friend,
eu tô passando os dois?
Peter Gordon Clement.
Peter's death at the age of just 62, of course, announced by the team on the 24th of December, just 6 weeks after Liberation Night.
Born to a working-class family on a housing estate in Rotherham, Peter first trained as a carpenter before getting his start on television. First moving and building scenery, and then developing into the personality that we all knew and loved so much.
Agora eu não sei qual é o ruim e qual é o bom.
First hit our screens over 25 years ago, running for 11 series, winning multiple awards, and charming
Eu
audiences.
já não sei mais o que eu tô passando, tá ligado?
Peter taught us, all of us, not to be content with the way things are, not to accept inequities, no matter how small. But he also taught us what it took to fight them. Courage, integrity, empathy, and hard, bloody graft.
Across a career spanning 3 decades, Peter Clement was known for shows including Wake Up, It's Saturday, and much later, Late Night Chat Show.
Já era, tá ligado? Eu não sei nem mais o que eu tô fazendo.
Peter was by no means a saint. Trust me, he once told me he had more regrets than he'd had stolen dinners. He always did have a knack for a turn of phrase. But it speaks to the strength of his character that he chose to share with us his mistakes alongside his achievements, his faults as well as his talents. Peter had the heart to give it all he had for the people of these United Territories.
Famous for his potty mouth, it's estimated conservatively that Peter Clement uttered over 1.5
Ele mostrou um bananão lá, tá ligado?
during his career, though some sources put this figure well in excess of 2 million F-bombs
Aqui já era, velho. Aqui já era.
Gripped by illness as he was in the weeks and months leading up to Liberation Night, he
Oxi!
wasn't the man we loved.
Ele deu um socão na cara do maluco.
But his eyes still twinkled with that familiar joy for life, that spark of wit and wisdom of a life lived for others.
Prime Minister Clement, of course, died from apparent liver failure after suffering from the long-term effects of alcohol abuse.
I first met Peter nearly
Bananão?
20 years ago.
Fred, você é um bananão.
For I was supposed to give a speech, not unlike this one, actually.
Fred, você é um anão.
I'd spilt coffee all down myself, and I was young, nervous, desperate to be liked, and from behind me I heard, "Christ, pet, you've either pissed your kecks or sprung a leak, but either way you got a problem." And before I could even say a word, he stripped off his dry trousers and insisted I took them. That was the sort of man that Peter Clement was. Kind.
Cara, já não sei qual é o ruim, qual é o bom. Eu tô passando tudo, velho.
A brilliant thinker.
Eu tô passando tudo.
Natural leader.
Eu me perdi. Ah, que lindo, tá ligado? Eu não sei o que é ruim, o que é bom, o que tem que mostrar, o que não tem que mostrar. Os caras me pediram, ó, não passa assim. Passa o certo. Eu não sei nem qual é o certo e qual é o errado aqui, velho.
This glorious and new, this shining beacon of
Thank you, Alex.
equality and
There'll be another opportunity to steer public
Obrigado.
It's really starting.
Eu nem sei o que eu fiz.
his accomplishments,
Eu não sei.
the future he forged, the boundaries he pushed. To me, he'll always be the man in his pants cheering on a stranger at the back of the conference. It is my great honour to give to you the Peter Clement Memorial
Emprego, tá
Garden.
ligado?
Should we see if we can get a countdown going? Everyone with me? 10, 9, 8, 7.
Now, Alex, control the message.
I'm not leaving, I can't. You two, come with me. Don't panic. Help us here, look. We're gonna help you. We need a medic. You're hurting me.
Well, stop resisting then. Stop resisting.
Okay, you two stay with him.
Mom, we have to stay by your side.
Turn the camera off. National Night News. We have the right to be here. I said turn the...
Keep your eyes open.
Look at me, stay with me. Help.
Hey, I can't hear anything.
Alex,
Stay with me. No.
You?
Well, then you can consider this payback.
Julius Goldsbury! You were guilty of the murder of more than 10 million people! Justice demands a response!
Haven't you done enough? Look around you! This is what your precious freedom looks like, is it? Hold fire! Rise up! Take to the streets, the time has come! Stop violence!
Eu quero ficar por dentro da fofoca. Eu quero a fofoca, tá ligado? Eu quero a fofoca.
None. It was unnecessary. Can't you see? I said, please turn that off. Please turn that off.
Ah, velho, eu vou meter o louco, tá ligado?
You've just seen them execute unarmed civilians. People like you and me. So why are you watching this? Why are you not in the streets with us tonight? What will it take for you to get up and be a part of this? March on team headquarters, storm the building, demand elections, demand answers. Be what you were born to be, the once and future free.
That means by now. Don't go away. We'll be back after this. We'll be back after this. God, does anyone know if everyone's safe for the crew, okay?
All fine.
That didn't go so well, Alex. But we can turn it around in the next segment.
No, it's different tonight. This is the big one.
Great. So there's a revolution happening outside and we're off to Dangy's fucking park.
That's journalism, apparently.
Can we get set for the next sequence?
Nota. Portanto, nota. Fui bem. Fui bem. Amém. Cara, mas deu muito ruim aqui, tá ligado? Cadê o botão de continue? Continue.
Of course, not everybody wants that. Only last week, disrupt terrorists burned farms across the territory.